Hey there guys, what's going on and welcome back to our channel. Although we continue to be bombarded by jaw-dropping actions and unforgettable moments on a daily basis, only a very few can really make you turn to your friend and ask WTF. They seem to happen right when you think something is going as planned. So all of a sudden, bam, something extraordinary occurs. Some can be amusing, some aggravating, while others can be downright perplexing. That's why we've collected for you some of the most WTF moments in sports history. Number 10, crash between Usain Bolt and a Segway. When the best runner of his time collided feet first with a cameraman's Segway in China, news writers around the world couldn't afford to send the press button on the banner, "Nut hits Bolt." When a commentator tripped his Segway on a fence before colliding with the most valuable pair of legs in the world, the then 29-year-old Jamaican Olympic champion was basking in the glory of a 200-meter sprint win. Although the slow-motion video was amusing, it may have been the most expensive error ever made and a horribly innocuous finish to a brilliant career. We are confident the cameraman's apologies and eventual friendship bracelet are enough to make up for the scare.
Yeah, he said he was sorry as much as he could, but I checked to make sure he was okay.
Number 9, 149 own goals in one single game. To be clear, we realize that a lot of you aren't familiar with the Madagascan Soccer League, but something happened in one game that had us scratching our heads. Yes, it is the right scoreline. Adema defeated Stade Olympique Lemern 149-0 in 2002 in defiance of a refereeing order. According to sources on the ground, the Lemern players became enraged when their coach lost his cool with the referee and began kicking goals into their own net in frustration. The 149 goals more than quadrupled the existing record of 36-0 set in 1885. The 149-0 result is a new world best according to the English Football Association. Number 8, the rape case against Kobe Bryant. In 2003, the sport was rocked by a romantic relationship between Lakers and NBA superstar Kobe Bryant and a 19-year-old hotel employee. The NBA champion finally reached an out-of-court settlement, but he never confessed to raping during the extramarital affair. Bryant's integrity suffered greatly as a result of the incident, with his partner's abortion being blamed on the difficulty of coping with the aftermath, as well as leaks about private testimony he gave to Colorado law enforcement. Sports controversies don't come any larger than this, and the NBA will be hoping it remains that way.
Disgusted at myself for making a mistake of adultery. You're the strongest person I know, and I'm so sorry.
Number 7, Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding. For a figure skating incident to make media headlines, it had to be a major event in scale. Kerrigan was violently struck with a baton during a workout session in 1994, bruising her thigh and causing her to withdraw from the National Figure Skating Championships. When it was discovered that U.S. Olympic rival Tonya Harding paid Shane Stant to carry out the cowardly hit, the media went crazy. Harding revealed her true colors by selling a sex tape to Penthouse magazine for $200,000 as the country poured pity on Kerrigan. The story of Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan represents the pinnacle of athletic rivalries.
Why?
Number 6, Magic Johnson was diagnosed with HIV. Magic Johnson's life and people's view of AIDS as an illness are forever altered by a phone call from the Lakers team doctor. Magic Johnson was 32 years old at the time, and he was at the peak of his career. Johnson's diagnosis stunned the basketball world, forcing people to reconsider the disease's association with homosexuals. Johnson was not only well, but in excellent condition at the time of his diagnosis. Johnson's post-basketball performance has brought promise to those living with the virus that they will have a happy existence.
When something happens to you, And then you find out who really your friends are.
Number 5, the murder trial of Oscar Pistorius. Oscar Pistorius shocked the world in February 2013 when he shot his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp on Valentine's Day. Perhaps he knows his real motives, but the subsequent prosecution drew a worldwide audience. Prior to the shooting, there were rumors that Oscar had a big love for guns. Pistorius was sentenced to 5 years in jail for aggravated assault, but after just 10 months, he was released to house arrest. Although Steenkamp's family still grieves her death, the events of that night are still shrouded in mystery, leaving people scratching their heads.
Prosecutors say they will press a charge of premeditated murder against the 26-year-old double amputee Paralympian.
Number 4, the hand of God and Diego Maradona. How could the referee have missed it? Before the ball bobbled into the net, the most legendary player of his time elevated above giant English goalkeeper Peter Shilton, proving the difference in a 2-1 victory. The score of the Little Magician for Argentina against England in Mexico in 1986 is without a doubt the most praised and derided soccer match ever. Diego took full ownership of the moment, boasting to the press that it was the hand of God target. It is either the goal of the century or the scandal of the century, depending on which side of the fence you're on.
They're appealing for offside.
Number 3, Chuck Hughes passed away on the football field. If the football world had known of Chuck Hughes' illness, he would have never played a game. Chuck Hughes had the heart of a 60-year-old man when he died of acute coronary thrombosis while playing for the Detroit Lions at Tiger Stadium in 1971. Other athletes have developed cardiac problems and monitoring is now required in most sports, but Hughes remains the only NFL player to die on the field. He, unfortunately, became the first and, to date, only NFL player to die on the field in front of a packed stadium. Number 2, Monica Seles has been stabbed. At the changing of ends, the last thing a professional tennis player needs is to be stabbed by a member of the audience. Seles acknowledged that the emotional injuries from the freak event in 1993 still bother her 20 years later. During a match in Hamburg, a Steffi Graf fan ran onto the court's edge and stabbed Seles between the shoulder blades. Unlike the Harding case, no connection was ever established between Graf and the perpetrator, but it remains one of the most terrifying moments ever seen in a sporting arena.
Such a hard pain, like sharp pain in me. It's like, ooh.
Number 1, earthquake in the World Series in 1989. The 1989 World Series Game 3 was the third game of the World Series. The Oakland Athletics took on the San Francisco Giants. Following it was the first ever television coverage of an earthquake, and it is said that the baseball game saved hundreds of lives in the aftermath. When the feed broke out after the Loma Prieta earthquake, ABC switched to a highlights package before analyst Al Michaels could be heard saying, "We're seeing an earth." Nobody was misled by reruns of Roseanne and the Wonder Years as the headlines circulated across the world. The 1989 World Series earthquake is without a doubt the greatest WTF moment in sporting history.
So the Oakland A's take.
I'll tell you what, we're having an earth.
If you guys know of any other incidents such as these, do share them with us in the comments section below. And before we head out of here, don't forget to hit us up with a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, as well as hit that bell icon to receive further notifications and updates of content such as this in the future. And with that, I'll be catching you guys later in another video.